about the energy and gas front a minute here. One of the easiest ways, perhaps, to relieve some of the pressure on, look, it's not just this country that's experiencing rising energy prices. It's all of Europe. It's really a lot of the world. If a country that we provide an extraordinary amount of defensive weaponry to, an extraordinary amount of support to, and I'm speaking of Saudi Arabia, who could essentially turn the dial tomorrow if they wanted to. We know this with OPEC nations. They're choosing to essentially be on the side of Putin on this one. Should there be some consequences to this in our relationship going forward?
Well, I'm disappointed by that decision because I think it's a very short-term one that is not in anybody's interest, including theirs. So I would certainly do whatever I could that was available to me to try to be more persuasive, if you will, and
Carrots
to talk about
sticks?
some consequences. But well, I think you have to do carrot and stick, Chuck. I mean, I think that we're in an existential crisis right now, and the only positive that comes out of this horrific, unjustified, unprovoked assault on Ukraine, with the war crimes that are being committed on a daily basis by Putin's military, is that the world is now, I think, awake. Some are more awake than others, but everybody has to pay attention.
You heard Secretary Blinken essentially say, look, sanctions relief could happen. It all depends on the behavior of Russia. Can we really live in a world where Putin's let back into the New World Order?
Well, that's not what I heard him say. What I heard him say was that really we are going to support the Ukrainians, the people and the government of Ukraine, as they try to figure out what for them is the best way forward. And that, I think, is exactly the right position for the United States, Europe, and the West and other countries to take. Your second part of that question, though, is a really important one. I would not allow Russia back into the organizations that it has been a part of. I think there's an upcoming G20 event later in the year. I would not permit Russia to attend. And if they insisted on literally showing up, I would hope there would be a significant, if not total, boycott. The only way that we're going to end the bloodshed and the terror that we're seeing unleashed in Ukraine and protect Europe and democracy is to do everything we can to impose even greater costs on Putin. There are more banks that can be sanctioned and taken out of the so-called SWIFT relationship. There is an increasing call for doing more on gas and oil. Now, obviously, some of our strongest allies in Europe are desperately trying to get out from under their dependence upon Russian energy. We need to expedite, and I know the administration has been doing that, looking at more deliveries of liquefied natural gas, for instance. So I think now is the time to double down on the pressure. And I agree completely with Masha. Let's not fantasize about what comes next in Russia. Let's focus on what we're doing right now to help protect and defend the Ukrainian people's right to be a free, democratic nation and protect their sovereignty.